So as much as I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, what is he talking about? I'd be if he was not describing my mother. Yep. Because when I came to her, I said, this experience hurt me. Well, I was a teenage mom. I did the best I could, dismissing it. You weren't perfect either. Insult. Well, what about me? I guess I'm just a terrible mother. Guilt. I did. You turned out all right. The need to be right in every single argument. So I couldn't even say, well, he crazy. Women don't show up like that, because I was looking at the woman who birthed me, attempting to hold her accountable. And she was telling me basically, you know what I mean? I did what I did and you're not going to hold me. She told me, you are not going to hold me accountable. So I ended our relationship. I had the power that I took the strength in myself to do what a lot of Black people do not have. They leave the matriarchal line. I'm done. I am the first housewife in my family's history. I was born of my great-grandmother ran her husband. My grandmother didn't have no husband. My mother ran her husband off. So I'm coming from all of these generations of single motherhood, breaking the cycle. I don't have time for that. So, when you say that they are taking accountability, they are absolutely not.
I previously did 2 videos, one asking men if they would date women taller than them, and then I asked women if they would date men shorter than them, right? So I got feedback on both, which I addressed in another video, and then I got this comment on one of the videos. Problem is, most men will not marry a taller woman. Smash and dash, yes. I do it all the time. Marriage, no. Okay, so I am asking men, would you intentionally date for marriage someone who is taller than you, or would you just go out with them to get laid?
I honestly don't know where he got that from. I don't understand that comment. There's a lot of dudes, especially ones in the comments, saying, a taller woman than me would not be a problem. I would definitely date a woman, and I would definitely date intentionally. I would definitely date to marry. I don't know where that came from.
If you're walking with your man, or I think any man that's walking with his woman, his wife, his girl, and there's a female coming towards ya, and she's an attractive young lady, young, older, whatever, I think the man should look at the floor. I think the man should he should be looking at the floor. That's good behavior. That's acceptable reaction to that. To the floor, eyes on the floor.
As if we didn't have enough fun trends going around. For some reason, I think there's a trend where women are coming on here and telling the entire world who they won't date and singling out groups of men. And I just want to say that men for so long have been told now why they're not good enough, not tall enough, not fit enough, don't have enough money. All of the many, many things that women come up with to emasculate or degrade them, that I gotta tell you, they don't care. They don't care anymore, ladies. If you come on here and you're voicing your negativity, they feel like, hey, thanks for letting me know who you are so I can dodge that bullet. Don't think that they're all going to be suddenly DMing you, because I highly doubt that that's happening. Men are now conditioned, because of women, to believe that women don't have any interest in them. So if you actually hope to come in contact with these men who you find to be potentially suitors, I hope, one, you're ready to put your best foot forward too, but also that you're going to be very bold, because they're no longer allowed to assume that batting your eyes means you have interest. They're no longer able to approach you, because if you think that they're not good looking enough, you're probably going to make a scene. I don't think these guys care. I'm just letting you know.
So I did an unintended social experiment, and a social experiment was me wearing my real hair out versus usually when I'm coming like this and I have like a little bit of makeup on and I go out and interact in the world. And what I noticed with the men, and you would think this would be a good thing, but it was completely not. And I'm going to tell you why I believe it wasn't a good thing. So what happened was more men approached me, trying to speak to me and trying to court me, I guess, in a sense. And you would think it's like, oh, because you look better with your natural hair. But I don't think that was the case. I think the case is men gauge who they can have accessibility to based on how much you care about yourself and your appearance. Follow me. I think men connect your appearance with how much you care for yourself and how much time you're going to be willing to put into them. So the quality of the men that I was attracting wasn't a higher octave, it was a lower one. And they were just a lot more comfortable asking me and talking to me and just approaching me in general. And I thought it was very, very weird. And a lot of the words they were using when describing me or just like trying to like talk about me to me was humble and nice and sweet and kind. And although I am a kind and nice and pleasant person to be around, I am not humble. I know my value. So I think men attribute your looks to your self-worth, especially the lower bracket of men. They think because you're a naturalist or you don't put much effort into yourself that you're somehow naive, or because you don't care so much about your appearance that it's like you don't care about the male gaze, therefore you're not getting a lot of it, and you don't put a lot of effort in. So I did this social experiment, and I think it was very, very interesting to see how many men were comfortable approaching me, and on top of that, comfortable asking me weird things. So one of the gentlemen was like, after our conversation was done, where he asked for like my Instagram, and immediately after I gave him my Instagram and he's seen, oh, that I put that on, I'm very into my looks, it was almost like he was disinterested. And then when he was like, oh, you seem so humble and just so like out, like you're like, you don't be out here and da 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 da. Once I said, oh, I'm not humble. I said, I very much so know my value and know my worth. And I'm not humble at all. I'm actually very much so like confident. And his face dropped immediately. It's like, what? What do you mean? So it's like, I don't know what this is, but yeah, your looks are 110% linked to what type of men you get and how much they think they could play with you. The last gentleman, I'm telling you, at the end of the conversation, he asked me, can I get a hug? Absolutely not. I literally just met you in these seconds. I literally just met you. Why would I hug you? Why would I touch you? What is wrong with you? And it's getting out of hand. If we're going to talk about it, why would you think you can touch me and I just met you? Are you slow? Yeah, it was a very interesting day.
I see a lot of women in the comments talking about when I'm all dolled up and the hood rats and the thugs and yada, yada, yada. They don't approach me because they know they can't afford me. But when I'm on a store run looking a mess, they have the confidence to speak. Or maybe when you're dolled up, you're going certain places, so you don't interact with certain people. Could that be it? When you're going to the store, that bum that you're talking about might be also going to the store. And you know what? A lot of people go to the store. There's a lot more people that go to the store than do these fancy parties, networking meetings, or galas, right? So you're going to find everyone from all walks of life in a grocery store. That's just how it works. I don't know how y'all sit around and come up with this type of stuff. Let me not say it's wrong. Let me just say, maybe y'all need a different perspective.
It's actually not that hard to find a good man with a good heart and good intentions and will treat you right. You just want to settle for the bare minimum because they're giving you attention. What was that?
There's a trend going around right now where these women are saying, like, it says in quotes, she's only pretty because of the filter. And then they turn and they're like, then you put the same one on then. My face is beached because I had plastic surgery 10 days ago. And I have chemosis in my right eye. Let me show you the filter they're talking about. I'm sorry, what? I mean, yeah, like, I still have this bruise under my eye and this, like, lovely pea soup shade of, like, green. But, babe, I hate to break it to you. That filter's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Time for women to take accountability for how terrible the dating pool is. We started taking advice from hoes. Not the old school hoes either that was on Backpage and Craigslist. Hoes that get online, showing their full face. Their full government is on their page, and they're telling whole stories, but they're not telling the whole story. So now women think that they man and they trick are supposed to act the same. Tricks and boyfriends, they supposed to pay rent and buy bags and buy shoes and take you out to eat 4 times a week, and it's never going to happen. Boyfriends usually ain't got no money. Tricks usually have money because they're emotionally unavailable and probably just terrible people who are...
If you want to turn a girl off, do this. Go out for drinks or meet her at the bar and offer her a drink, and then complain about how much the drinks were. $38 for 2 drinks? That is the biggest turnoff to a woman. I'm sorry. We don't want to hear your complaints. And I'm not saying that in an ungrateful way. Keep that to yourself. Maybe this will help you. That's going to turn a girl off. So don't do that. You might think it in your head, and that's fine. But do not say that out loud to a woman, especially if she was the one you bought the drinks for. It makes us feel weird, and like it's uncomfortable to mention and complain about something that you spent on a date or just even a random woman in a bar. Like, I am not going to give a guy my number who literally bought me a drink, but then mentions how much money it was in a negative way. Like, it's weird, cringe behavior, and I would never give a guy like that the time of day.
I love this. I love that a man said it. And this is something that I would have been like, okay, you might be a little prepared to handle me and make the investment that is required to have access to me, because access is not free. Access to me is not free. It's not a given that everybody who is interested is able to converse with me. That is just how I operate. And that's how I encourage women who have been working on themselves to operate as well. But he could have also said, like, okay, I'll put $50 on it. Or, you know what? I know you're going to be hungry after that hair appointment. How about I just treat you to lunch? I'm going to send you some lunch. I'm going to send you some money. You could get something afterward. That would have shown more than just saying, well, I don't really know you. Access isn't free. But you have to also be in the place as a woman where you have been really doing the work on yourself. And if you are not in that place, then I can't help you. Like, we're talking 2 different types of women there. And if you are the type of woman who's like, why would a stranger have to do that? You've never experienced it, so you wouldn't know. Like, you're not used to this.
A woman in the comments said, just curious, access to what exactly? Like, what's their return in this equation? Thank you. This is what men continue to ask. That's why the question of, say it with me, class, what do you bring?
Speak from experience. I got 5 kids, went through a divorce. My children needed therapy too. So how can my children be open to receive a new stepdaddy, bonus daddy, whatever you want to call it, when they still hurt from what their daddy did their mama 3 years ago?
No, I really had nothing too much to say. I just said that I just didn't agree with what she said.
Okay, but tell us why.
Because she was saying that the children was hurt from what he did their mama. Them children don't even know what's going on. You just hurt and you want the children to be hurt.
And she told them.
That's what it is.
And she told them.
You told them children what had happened.
That's
so them children, because to be honest, the children don't really be caring. Because my mom and daddy went through a divorce when I was 13, and to be honest, I really didn't care what was going on, because my daddy was still doing what he was doing, and my mom was still doing what she was doing. So the children don't really be hurt. It'd be the mama hurt and making the children hurt and telling the children what the daddy doing.
Why are there no attractive men in my area? I'm starting to think y'all are just lesbians. Like, you don't like men.
Sir, I would implore you to find every single statistic you can find surrounding lesbian relationships. They don't like women either. The real problem that women have in relationships is that what they want is they want a partner that knows how to and does make them happy 24/7, 365 at all times. And their partners are always expected to know at any given moment exactly what the hell this means. Even when the woman in question does not know herself, when she does not have any idea whatsoever of how to make herself happy, she still expects her partner to know how. At all times. And each and every time that partner fails, that partner gets a strike. And these strikes just keep on stacking until eventually the woman wants to leave the partner and go find somebody else that she thinks might can make her happy 24/7, 365. But she doesn't want to appear to be the bad guy in the situation. So suddenly this partner, who's really never done wrong to the woman in question, was either abusing her, was cheating on her, was stealing her money, wasn't helping out enough around the house. Some excuse, the same like 4 excuses they always use. And all of this nonsense, collectively, is exactly why men who are born gay are the luckiest sons on the face of the earth. Anyway, have a wonderful day.
I always see this content online that it's like, oh, the masculine's supposed to lead, the men are supposed to lead, and I'm going to clear this up for you right now. I have been a dating and relationship coach for the last 5 years, certified and all. I also have a background in clinical hypnotherapy and the subconscious mind. There is some truth in the fact that men are supposed to lead, but let me explain how. Men are supposed to lead the relationship forward. The masculine is meant to lead the relationship forward, not to lead the feminine, not to lead the woman. The idea of men leading women equals the idea that women are not capable of leading themselves. This is old, this is outdated, and this is toxic. When a woman leads the relationship forward, she ends up far more anxious and out of control, and the men are far less interested. When men show up with intentionality and foresight and consistency, this is leading the relationship forward. The feminine can lead herself.
Here's what I'm hearing. Okay, so let me read this comment, see if I understand what he's talking about. 2 people can't lead. Find a man whose values and mentality you trust and allow him to lead. That's the only way it works. Let me go ahead and like this comment before I forget it. They always figure out a way to not do. They always figure out a way to not do what they're supposed to be doing. They always do, man. I don't get it. We sit up here and talk about how men can't. This is just another nicer form of you can't tell me what to do. What was that? That meme from The Office? BJ Novak, I think his name is, Ryan in the show, where he was talking about lead me, but I want you to lead me when I'm in the mood to be led. This is what this is. It's just a nicer version of it. Nicer, sweeter, kinder version with a smile. To me, in my opinion. The man, oh, well, he's supposed to lead the relationship forward, but he ain't supposed to lead me. He's not supposed to lead the feminine. I'm supposed to lead myself. It's just so stupid. It's just a dumb statement. It's a dumb statement because the man, even when he's leading forward the relationship, he's going to have to give you instruction in order to lead. And you're going to have to follow his lead in order to get forward in the relationship. Sure, you can govern yourself. You need to be keeping tabs on yourself. You need to be growing and developing yourself. But as a man, he's going to look at you and you're going to look at him and say, I think that you need to improve here. And he's going to say, I think that you need to improve here, just on a personal level. And as a couple, we need to go in this direction. So that's him looking at both of you and saying, okay, I think over here, you might be better. I think you might need to take the lead on this project or in this area of our lives. Let me take the lead over here because I'm good at X, Y, and Z. Or how about we split this right here and do X, Y, and Z? He's leading you. But if you're sitting around the house thinking of silly things to say, this is what you're going to come up with.
Is there any woman that's on this planet that does not have a BBL, lit filters, and veneers? Are there any ones left, or is it just more?
Okay, men, so this is for y'all. I would really like y'all to practice more self-control, like self-discipline, like just practice it. There's no way you should come up to me, especially in the workplace. Like, if nowhere else you practice self-control, do it at work, please. I'm begging y'all. There's no way you should come up to me at work and say, I know this is inappropriate, but you look delicious. What the like, this is what we're really doing? Like, y'all, sometimes it's okay to keep things in your head. And if your head is too much to hold it and you just gotta let it out, talk to Siri. Put it in your notepad. iPhones, they all got notepads. I don't know if Androids got them. I don't use Androids, but iPhone got notepads. Matter of fact, I do you one better. ChatGPT. She will probably even respond to you. Keep it in your head. Like, at this point, it's ridiculous because now my options are I'm either going to cuss you out, and that's not a bad option. I'm going to report you to AR, to HR, and that is also not a bad option, but I don't really want to go there. I'm going to ignore you, or lastly, I'm going to cuss you the phone. Y'all gotta chill. Like, honestly, y'all have to chill. Like, please, if y'all do nothing else in your lifetime, learn self-control. It's really not that hard. But have a happy Monday.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't say that. People in general probably shouldn't say that. You look delicious is a crazy statement. But I just wonder if the guy was attractive. Can we have that conversation? I don't think it's right for either of them. But I feel like sometimes when a man has swag and he has finesse, he can say that, and y'all letting that man off the hook. That's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to start no arguments. I'm just saying.
Why would I ever need to change? And again, I don't think women understand, like, guys' success rate with women is not as much as women. So if I go out to a club and I get 2 numbers, I'm ecstatic. Like, my day is crazy. You could go to the club. You could walk out down a block and get 15 guys to try to approach you. So it's
not always. Men don't really approach me. I'm so serious.
Okay, so they might not approach you. Yes, and we could talk about that too, because I think that's something that we're in now. I think a lot of men don't want to approach women, but I think that's because a lot of things that women have said over the years that have made guys like, nah, you know what, I'm good.
Okay.
But my whole point is that if the majority of women that I'm talking to, if I know that all I have to do is provide for you and make your life comfortable from a financial situation, that I can do anything I want, why the hell would I ever change? Why would any guy change? And I've heard this since I was a kid, and their expression is, don't chase the money. I mean, don't chase women, chase the money. As soon as you get the money, women will come. And y'all have not proven me wrong yet.
A lot of you are in here like, wow, you hate men and this is rage bait. Well, yes, I am raging. Because, if the men had treated me better, then maybe I wouldn't have so many negative things to say. But this is not satire. This is not made up stories. This is my real life. So yes, maybe I do hate men a little bit better. But what my grandmother always taught me is that, if you treat people better, maybe they'd have nicer things to say about you. How about we start there? Simple math.
AJ in the comments said, I never get how women can have the power to choose almost any guy they want and still end up with the worst ones. It says more about them than it does about the men. I kind of agree. I mean, I know that you can get bamboozled sometimes and people can trick you because that's what they set out to do. They set out to be con men, con women, con artists in general. But if you keep on getting fooled and tricked by the same thing, at some point in time, it's got to be you. At some point in time, you have to say, well, do I enjoy this type of thing? Am I saying that I don't enjoy it when I actually do? It's got to be something that you start admitting to yourself.
Men be wondering why we don't want to be bothered with them. I just had to go get my own oil change. I paid my own rent this month.
Congratulations. You're what we call an adult. And guess what? You're supposed to pay your rent every month.
The man with no crew, he's not weird. He's not bitter. He's focused. And focused men are the hardest to beat. Let me explain. We're going to talk about the guy who doesn't run in a pack. The one you rarely see in group photos. The one who moves alone. People think he's antisocial, maybe even arrogant. He's strategic. Because when you think about it, let me just break down the truth. Most men waste their energy trying to impress other men. Always needing a crew. Always needing validation. Always taking big in front of their boys. But the man who's comfortable being alone, that's a man who's locked in on his purpose. He's not out here every weekend proving he's one of the guys. He's building. He's working. That man is thinking 3 steps ahead. And that makes him dangerous. Because he's not distracted by fake loyalty or people secretly waiting for him to fail. Nah, he not distracted by none of that. You see, because a man with no crew can't be betrayed, can't be manipulated, and can't be moved by opinions. He doesn't need to be liked. He needs to win. So yeah, laugh at him for eating alone, or skipping the hangouts, or hanging with the boys. But remember this. The hangouts, him being alone, while the crowd is partying, that lone wolf is hunting. And when he shows up with results that speak louder than any hype man ever could speak. And if you're that man or you're becoming him, let me know in the comments, because this is about building power, not just proving you have it.
Imagine having a and then think you see an app and you're like, oh, it got T on that is dating other, imagine that. And imagine you going to the site and checking and you're on that site, made a whole profile, username, password. How long did you search for it? Like, this is what I'm saying. Stand the fuck up. Stand up. Damn.
Well, I mean, men knew that was going to happen. It's the same thing as, are we dating the same man? They go in there and they just start lying. They just put anyone on there. They just run into anybody. Sometimes they've never even met that man. Honestly, they haven't met him. They haven't ever seen him, shaking his hand, not a text, phone conversation, a FaceTime, nothing. They just saying stuff just because they want to be in the conversation and because they're weird.
This is kind of a hot take, excuse me, but I feel like we're living in a very, with like 2025 and like the modern world, there's been like this very like unnatural thing happening. And not to say that like feminine energy or masculine energy is like exclusive to like one gender or the other, but I see like, since females have to work so hard to like, I mean, men too have to prove themselves because we live in a patriarchal society and it's very accomplished based of like what their value is, but women, I feel like, have to work just as hard to prove their worth, and they have to work harder in the workforce and things like that to get better income, to be beautiful, and then certain expectations. So I feel like women in a way had to be more masculine and exert in a more action-oriented way, whereas men, and I'm not trying to say that they don't have to work as hard, but there are certain privileges when it comes to being a man. And so when it comes to heterosexual relationships and dating, I feel like there is this natural, like where men are exuding more feminine energy and then women are pursuing more masculine energy. And I feel like there's like this imbalance when it comes to certain traditional gender roles. And I don't know, I'm talking out loud and I feel like I might get like canceled, but I don't know if people feel this way where men are taking more of a backseat in their feminine energy when it comes to dating and women are having to chase harder. And I'm just not enjoying that sort of dynamic in previous experiences. The one that I am dating right now is incredibly masculine and forward and action-oriented, which I enjoy, but I just don't find that to be the experience of my other girlfriends. So I don't know if people are going to cancel me, agree, but some guys that I've dated have been immense divas, if I'm just like putting it out there, very moody and operating from a place of feeling. And not to say that men don't have feelings, but I don't know, I'm talking out loud, that might be canceled.
A brother in the comments said, after feminism, a lot of men had to evolve or get left behind. We had to alter our expectations and behavior to rightly accommodate the change. Now it's women's turn. Either evolve with the new or continue to be disappointed because of archaic expectations. BJ Highlights just said this is nonsense.
Now, I ain't saying you gotta spend money on me, like, you don't have to, but you know, if you do go up a few notches, like you skip the line a little bit. So, you know, just do with that information what you will.
I'm thinking about it, and after further deliberation and thought, it's gonna be a no. for me, dog.
Me eating pineapple in case an older man calls me and decides to have his way with me. I'm prepared. Oh God, this is so good. I'm just kidding. This is actually my favorite fruit. This after a cardio session goes crazy. I was like zoning out on the treadmill. Was on there for an hour and did abs after. At least I'm prepared if someone does call me and decides to have his way with me, right?
A man in the comments was like, calm down, fellas. She ain't looking for some TikTok creep. Then why is she on TikTok saying creepy stuff? That's weird.
I need a man. I'll say it all day. I need a man. I need that masculine energy. I need it. Yes, women can survive without men. They sure can. They can get jobs. They can fill their lives with friendships and they can get the emotional connection that they need from other people. That's absolutely true. I need a man because that is what I can't even like describe it. I can't describe it. I don't know what it is. It's probably the curse of Eve, okay? When God said you will always crave a man, you will always crave his domination, you will always crave it. I'm just woman enough to admit it. I'm not trying to say these women are not woman enough to admit, but I can admit it. That I would feel more complete if I had a male partner. Just would. I don't feel like that takes away from who I am. I'm still Amber without a man. I'm still her. I can still do the same things. I can have a full life without a man. I can't. I'm always going to feel like there's something missing. I'm always going to feel like I need that male partner, right? So I don't like being grouped in when y'all say modern women. And this is really no hate to women. Some women are completely content with not having a man. They don't need what I need. Women are not a monolith, okay? Some women are completely okay with not having that masculine energy around them. I'm just not one of them. I want a man. I need a man. It's not a want. I need one. I do need one.
In jeans is low-key crazy because like I can't like I'm sorry, like what? No wonder this man spent 30 minutes eating. And 15 of those minutes he didn't even have any food in front of him. I can't be mad at him though, because I would too.
They really be doing a lot out here for some attention, I tell you that. Good grief.
So, obviously I'm supposed to be getting on the phone camera and say, oh my God, just express how I feel on camera and be humiliated. Because this is stupid. But, hey, how am I feeling? I am feeling abandoned. Anybody ever just wanted somebody to go that extra mile to just let you know that you matter? That you are important? That it's okay to hurt? It's okay to feel how you're feeling? You ever just wanted that pat on the back or that rub, that shoulder to cry on instead of having everybody cry to you and you heal everybody else and absorb their pain? When the is somebody going to allow me to lay on their chest, lay on their shoulder, lay on their lap for them to just tell me that it's gonna be okay? Here, boy, I tell you. I'm tired. I'm so tired of hurting. I'm so tired of being everybody else's strength. And constantly being looked at as, oh, she is strong. She overcomes everything. Oh my God, I know she'll be all right. Because she gets up and miles every day. She gets up and does everything that she needs to do. And even when she doesn't, nobody knows that. Nobody sees that. For the people who is a sponge to everybody else, for the people who constantly is rubbing everybody else's back and being that shoulder to cry on, being that backbone for everybody else, for those people, for us kind of people. When do we get to cry on somebody's shoulder? When do we get to have our backs rubbed? When do we get to lay our head on someone's lap and they play in our hair and rub our scalp and allow us to know that we're safe? When do we get that? Basically, when the do we get a safe place besides our own bed, our own home, but being able to experience that with another human being? We gotta constantly hug. We gotta constantly hug and nurture everybody else. When do we get nurtured? Oh no. We don't get nurtured because that's for the weak. But we are supposed to provide the nurturing. And it's crazy. Oh.
I see where you're going with this, and I understand your response. I just wonder if he would have been like, I make this amount, and you'd have been like, whoa, well then yeah, you can't put me through a mattress. Does that now mean that you're selling it? I don't know.
I just downloaded a dating app for the first time, and a guy said, respectfully, I want to put you through a mattress. So I said, respectfully, do you have a lot of money? And he didn't like that. He immediately unmatched me. And I'm like, oh, so I'm just matching your disrespect. So it's okay when you disrespect me, but when I match your energy, it's no longer okay and it hurts your feelings? How does that make sense?
You mean to tell me Justin did all this capping saving just for a trick to turn around and say she want to go to college and have her own experience? Your own experience? Girl, if you want to on another, just say that. And that's exactly why these men be like, they ain't nothing. They ain't worth a.
Be wondering why you don't put up. I asked you for food. You huffed and puffed.
Or and realize that you're broke and needy. Unlock your Cash App card and buy the damn food yourself. How could you delude yourself So much to the point where you feel like you're entitled to a man's generosity. Didn't your mama teach you that if you want something done, do it yourself? Wake up. Nobody owes you. You're pressed because you found out that he's not as useful as you thought. It be the people like her who abuse these gender stereotypes like we're not living in 2025. Nobody gives a f no more. That provider man died 2 years ago because of people like you. I bet if she went out with he forgot his wallet, what's she gonna do? She gonna find every excuse in the book talking about her leg hurts, her hip needs to be replaced. She don't wanna pay. She'll give you a tall tale about how she left her purse at home. And it's like, reciprocity. Don't piss me off.